When I graduated from nursing, which was many moons ago, in 1983, I went to nursing school to work in labor and delivery. I had an interest in birth as a child. I wanted to watch all the puppies and the kittens be born. I just have one of those few people that kind of knew what they wanted to be when they grew up, when they were young. So I went to nursing school to be in maternity care. And over my years of nursing, I worked in all areas of nursing. I really liked getting to know patients over their pregnancy and in between pregnancies when I worked in the private physician's office, but I kind of missed the excitement and the adrenaline rush of the birth. So being a midwife was a way to do both. I wasn't familiar with midwives at the time. I was in Texas, and then our family moved to Ohio, and I got a part-time job working in an Amish birth center that was owned by the Amish church. And that was the first experience I ever had with a birth center. In fact, my initial reaction was, are birth centers safe? Because I'd only ever worked in a hospital. And then once I worked in the birth center, I realized we were doing a real disservice to most women in America, that the majority of low-risk women are better served in a birth center. So that physician and midwife that worked at that birth center encouraged me to go to grad school to become a midwife. And so I went to Case Western, got a dual certification, both as a nurse midwife and a family nurse practitioner, thinking I was going to work in the Amish community and I would be needing to take care of men and older children and not just do women's health and OB. And there was a malpractice crisis that hit the state, and that birth center was at risk of closing. The physician actually stopped delivering babies, and there was a group of OBGYNs that took over the birth center to keep it from closing, but they had no interest in working with midwives. So here I was, a brand new grad, and what I thought was a job waiting for me didn't happen. We were from the South, so it was time to move back out of the snow belt. The whole family was a little tired of shoveling snow. So I was contacted by one of the midwives of the practice here in Charleston, and I came and interviewed, and of course Charleston, it's an easy move to one of the greatest cities on earth. So I came here and worked for that practice. Their intent was that practice, it's called Low Country Women's Specialists, was going to start a birth center of their own, and one of the midwives and one of the main physicians, Dr. James Martin, who we still work with, wanted to open a birth center. So that was their inspiration to hire me. And then they decided they weren't going to do that as a group. And I was not happy doing medicalized birth in the hospital and wanted to do more. I really wanted to get back to the birth center. So the only way to do that was to create my own job. So I decided I would just do it, and I did it the first year by myself. It was just me and an office manager, and then we added a midwife every year for the first 5 years, and we grew pretty quickly. I was right that the community wanted it, and we've had great support. And we grew at the previous place until we couldn't grow anymore because we were out of space. And that was one of the reasons we wanted to move, so that we could continue to grow.